Hi, my name is Jake Murray. I head the school design department. Within the design department we teach three-dimensional design, which runs from year 9s up to upper 6, and photography and graphic design, both of which are taught at A level. However, if you're coming in the 11s, from the 11 plus, then I will introduce you to the projects that you will start to work with when you enter year 9, because the design is optional in the 9s. You don't get taught it in the first 2 years of school. Okay, right, the first project that we do in the 9s is we build a lamp. So I introduce you to the idea of packaging components. We use aluminium, we use 3D printed plastic. I don't know if you can see over here, we have a 3D printer that is printing some components for a lamp. We then package everything together. I introduce you to a little bit of electrical systems, and you are able to then take home a functioning lamp. There's one, and another one I made earlier. This one, we gave a little bit of extra functionality to it. It's something that you can also pop your phone into and use it as a potential little speaker system as well. So I allow you a little bit of freedom in terms of what you do. So the basic principles of simply using plywood base, an aluminium stem, and a 3D printed lamp head are the same, but the shapes are determined by you, following the design process. Then, if you choose the subject or take the subject as a GCSE, we move on to something a little bit more complicated. I supply you with some componentry, and you package those components and produce a Bluetooth speaker. So I'll give you the speakers, I'll give you the amp board, I'll give you the wiring, I'll give you the switching, and then you come up with something that functions and tries to create or tries to achieve a nice balance between form and function. And you'll end up with something that you can, with your phone, connect with, play, take home again, and you've got another functioning item. But there is an emphasis on aesthetics. So I don't want things that simply work, I want things that have for you a desire. You want to use them, you want to have them, and you want to have them in your environment. We move on then into the second year of GCSE. We do an architecture project where I create a brief which is basically relating to a house or a holiday home by the sea. You'll follow the design brief. You do some thorough researching. You will create floor plans. You will print models in plastics. You'll use foam core to help create your models. You'll prototype again and again, and eventually you'll have an architectural model as well as a series of CAD renderings of that house. The projects that we move on to into A level, we look at bridges. So we look at the idea of creating a garden bridge. So we'll take a location in London, which is usually the 9 Elms crossing from Pimlico to the new 9 Elms development in Battersea, where the power station is, or the ex-power station. And we look at the concept of a garden bridge. Again, we follow the design principles, we research, we build models, we'll build it all in CAD as well. The program we use is SketchUp. And then we hopefully will have something that represents in 3 dimensions our intentions. These models, they don't last very long. They tend to get a little dog-eared quite quickly. Then moving into the upper 6, the students are able to choose a project of their own liking. So we have a candidate here who went off to study engineering at Imperial, created a station for a Hyperloop system. So he found a location in London which would be suitable for locating the Hyperloop. He then planned it, looked at the requirements for such a system, worked out the scale, worked out things like flow patterns of the people. He worked out how much space was needed to accommodate X number of people that would come through this on a daily basis. Then he built it all in CAD, then built the model in foam core. So you have a sort of a relatively functioning engineering and architectural model of the station, which you can take apart to gain a view from all the necessary angles. That is what we do in the design department.